station. Down Under would also like to thank its following valued partners for season 2026. Barley Flowers, Salimi Group, Royal Stacks, Solomon Group, Alencia, Barbecue K, Cameron Real Estate, CNC Pro, Elysium Estate Agents, Maliku Group, The Manor and High, Anton Jewelers, and APAC. Hope you enjoy the game. Go Down Thunder.
drawn out. Head-to-head, 3 shots. Winner takes 500 cash. That's right, you're in Dandenong. Cash only. $500 cash. Grabs a half-time crossbar challenge. Support the club and buy a ticket and hit the crossbar and take home 500 cash.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JVS Stadium, the home of Dandenong Thunder Football Club. Dandenong Thunder would like to thank its 2026 major sponsors, JVS Group and Biovate Human Optimization. Dandenong Thunder would also like to thank its following valued partners for season 2026. Barley Flowers, Salimi Group, Royal Stacks, Solomon Group, Alencia, Barbecue K, Cameron Real Estate, CNC Pro, Elysium Estate Agents, Maliku Group, The Manor and High, Anton Jewelers, and APAC. Hope you enjoy the game. Go Dandenong Thunder.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Stadium, round 4 NPL action. Dandenong Thunder host Avondale tonight. To the two-team lineups, Avondale. Number 1, Jack Gibson. Number 3, Jacob Muir. Number 4, Patrick Flockman. Number 9, George Ott. Number 10, Bruno Fonaroli. Number 13, Yite Towns. Number 14, Blake Carpenter. Number 22, Stefan Valentini. Number 23, Christian Trojewski. Number 24, Emlyn Wellsmore. And number 77, Sita Murray. Substitutes for Avondale. Number 2, Murphy Bennett. Number 11, Max Green. Number 20, Dylan Yakupi. Number 33, Leon Alizard. And number 40, Luis Alvarez. For your Dandenong Thunder, in goals, number 1, Andrew Withers. Number 3, Daniel Alessi. Number 4, Sevdi Bismaili. Number 5, Medicine Mameti. Number 7, Jackson Courtney Perkins. Number 8, George Mells. Number 10, Joseph Nawanma. Number 14, Hassan Jola. Number 22, Wall Hook Lee. Number 23, Lat Maniac. And number 24, Benjamin Jibba. Substitutes for the Dandenong Thunder. Number 2, Toby Abani. Number 6, Jack Morton. Number 11, Ali Salamati. Number 12, Jay Romanovsky. Number 16, Harry Phillips. And number 79, Dennis Martin. Hope you enjoy the game and go Dandenong Thunder.
Good evening, wherever you are watching in Victoria, across the nation or around the world, and welcome to JVS Stadium at a gloomy and gently tempered George Andrews Reserve on a grey and ominous early autumn Saturday eve down the southeast. Dandenong Thunder return home after a wild week out west, defeated to Caroline Springs George Cross, compounding current discomfort, present courtesy of a sluggish seasonal start. Without a point since the one they picked up on opening weekend, the results of yesterday eve now have this club in the peril of an early season battle against the dreaded drop. Avondale have been equally slow out of the blocks, uncharacteristically so. 2 straight defeats to start, rectified by a thumping of Green Gully to get them underway for the new season. That result, they'll be hoping an omen of what this side can be this season on a more consistent basis. Perennially quick, this uncharacteristic, unwanted Avondale tonight look to consign it to memory and begin the climb back towards the table's top end. They'll be helped by this fixture's favourable good fortune towards them. 11 wins in 16 across all competitions, just 3 defeats, although they have only picked up a point from the previous 2 meetings on this fixture, and at this ground when they met at this time last calendar year, they were defeated 2-1 by a defiant Dandenong Thunder. That minor blip, however, is one they'll be desperately wanting to rectify, whereas the hosts of the evening's entertainment will want to make it back-to-back home wins in this fixture and also get themselves right back on track. My name's Ethan Rigg, and welcome to a smashing contest, maybe the pick of Saturday's bunch in the southeast. And 2 of these sides, one heavily rotated, the other not so much. 4 Dandenong Thunder changes from that defeat at Caroline Springs George Cross. Tabina Abani, Jay Romanovsky, Harry Phillips and Kalen Makiodunmi all drop out for Seb Dimis-Maley. Jackson, Courtney Perkins, Joseph Nuema and Ben Jiba. For Avondale, not much need of rotation after a 5-star performance against Green Gully. Matthew Reed and Adam Zimmerino, the 2 who come out. Sita Marai and Jacob Muir, the 2 who come in for them. On a night where both of these sides, despite Avondale's win last week, really being ones which could use 3 points. And an early free kick and an early slow down. Speared by Alessi. Nuema took it down well. Set it back for Mehmeti. Withers, who is having quite the task this season. He replaced Jamie Young in between the sticks for Dandenong Thunder. Alessi went back for Mehmeti, who was happy to get forward early. Slid it centrally for Yi. Scrappy, the touch from Maniac was loose. It couldn't find its way to Jallo, and was stumped away in good time. And these 2 teams, Avondale, a founding member of the Australian Championship. Dandenong Thunder were in the hunt for that last season, fell agonisingly short on league form, and still are really yet to rectify that defeat to the neighbours from across town from the finals, as Fornaroli is looking to make life difficult for Alessi. Nuema under some pressure. Wellsmore got a foot in. Avondale still wanting to track their way down the right-hand side. Valentini, Wellsmore was again set back. Towns all the way for Flotman. Muir. Flotman once more, this time with Loft, wanting Valentini. Him and Mehmeti came together. Avondale shouts for a free kick waved away. Lee. Ismaili. A very experienced centre-back trio that Adam Piddock has gone for this evening. Perhaps wanting some stability. That one lofted towards Jallo, who was offside. Flotman in a hurry, and the free kick taken in an instant. Had the flag up at the other end. Both sides eager to fly out of the traps. Both understand what this evening means for their individual prospects in 2026. The Thunder hovering perilously, needing a lift. Avondale got that. Can they in turn, square their ledger for the season and ensure that that nightmarish fortnight was one simply fraught with a lack of gelling. Alessi allowed to drive and then nearly ran into Ott. Forced back for Withers. Ismaili. Lee dropped in. Was looking for options, nobody presented themselves. And then Alessi gave it away. Towns read it well to cut it in the channel. Tried to steer it for Valentini, and Avondale, on a wait-for advantage, have a free kick. Already early action for Lucas Mattia, who is the match official this evening. Jackson Landy, Thomas Rushton giving him a hand, and Bailey Panuto, who is directly below us, is the fourth official. Avondale with an early look. Sent in by Carpenter, and it's one which is rather wasted. Again, Thunder look to play their way out. It's Maley. Forced back to Withers. You can hear the Avondale bench urging that high press. Not to let Thunder out. Mehmeti was hustled and clipped it, and Jallow is on the march. His touch was tidy. Was waiting on the support. Courtney Perkins was the one who wanted it. Towns got in the way and then was swarmed by red and black. He lost his footing. Jallow poked a foot at it. Courtney Perkins had it ricochet. Mells wasn't able to take it under control. Towns for Carpenter, who crashed it towards Ott. Ismaili nodded it. Flotman wanted Fornaroli, unless he kept his cool. A really scrappy start. Neither really able to get a firm foot on it. Flotman wanted Valentini, only found Mehmeti. Now Nyawema. Again, had two to go around, did well to get out of that situation. Lee, Alessi, Mehmeti. Valentini dove in and gave away a free kick. To quite a fair bit of Avondale protest. Withers out the other way. Ismaili. Adam Piddock down on the touchline, incensed at that challenge as Withers' ball for Jeeba only finds touch. Dandenong Thunder. Their longest winless run at home for quite some time. 3 matches, although they are not 3 straight defeats, still a bit of an unwanted record. They're looking to change that this evening. Good read from Wellsmore. Fornaroli happy to let it run. Valentini had Mehmeti to go at. Now Bruno Fornaroli set it for Wellsmore. Uema got a good foot in. Was only able to clear as far as Towns. Valentini. Avondale wanting an early opening, stood up towards the back stick. And Jeeba there to clear, but the pressure is unrelenting. Carpenter's drill wanted a lurking Valentini, nodded away this time by Mehmeti. Lee on for Nyawema. Charging for him was Courtney Perkins, who was unable to go the long way around Muir. That one crashed forward from Gibson to his opposite number. Mells drilled it diagonally for Jeeba, who was immediately hustled by Marai. Mells once more. Courtney Perkins had just found a yard in the channel. It was a touch too long for him. Wellsmore happy to smash it away. Mehmeti in retreat. Force for Withers. Courtney Perkins battled with Muir. Flotman got up and the flag was up against Hassan Jallo, who was offside once more. Carpenter's flick on. Wanted Otts. Ismaili had it deflect off Marai. And then the second time had to hook it away. Dandenong Thunder will be eager to get that first goal in front of their faithful. Otherwise, some angst could set into this place. Only St Albans have fewer than their 2 so far this season. And even though it is early, finding the net is important. As Maniac was bundled into on the break. A couple on the Thunder bench want a card. Not quite brandished. Alessi. Ismaili. Lee. Wanted to thread it for Jiba. It was read well by Marai. Ott dropped off. Opportunity to counter, squandered in the end. Unless he kept his cool. Now Nyawema. Beyond Wellsmore. Courtney Perkins in the channel for him. He finally sorted his footing out, which allowed Wellsmore away back in. But he had collected Nyawema while doing so, and Dandenong Thunder have a free kick in a position of particular promise. Trycheski's breakdown of that Avondale counter. Thunder now have a free kick. And an opportunity to put Avondale under early pressure. Mel's take with depth. Thumped away as far as Jiba. His effort. Blocked by Valentini. Mehmeti happy to reset. Withers. Maniac might give chase. Gibson spilled and gathered at the second time of asking. The flag had stayed down. Had Lutz Maniac found a way to trouble Gibson into something a little bit less confident. Flotman. Carpenter. Towns. Out the other way for Wellsmore. And now Valentini, who has got the right flank to go down. Nyawema in retreat, fizzed across lowly. Alessi happy to nod it away. Valentini gets a second look. And again is unable to clear Alessi. And then bundles his way over Nyawema and gives away a free kick. And opening almost 12 minutes, which has not been fraught of fire. Fornaroli leads the press. Withers. Ismaili, who was closed by Ott, again went searching for Jallo. Flotman nodded it. Maniac tried to make it work. Marai did well to keep it alive. Gibson measured for Valentini, who wasn't able to take it down, and then wrapped Mehmeti. Lee got it back from Nyawema. Mels. Drill for Jiba, who kept it alive. Dandenong Thunder just building slowly. Mels once more. Clipped the channel. Jallo got in ahead of Flotman. Jiba. Off Carpenter will be a goal kick. Took the final touch. An unwanted ricochet off Ben Jiba. But comfortably, the best Dandenong Thunder have built so far. Avondale just having to sit in and soak up for a moment. Gibson, Muir hammered it away. Alessi flicked it on, only to the advantage of Ott, who was met by Ismaili. Mel's in retreat, lent a helping hand. Alessi hustled by Valentini. Courtney Perkins entangled with Muir and wins a free kick, and then gave Muir a shove. And will now require a word with the official. Mel's joining the conversation. As is Bruno Fornaroli. All sorted, all settled, and all underway once more. Withers. Alpha Ismaili. Gave Maniac one where he was immediately marched upon by Carpenter. Withers, Alessi. Smash towards Jiba. Maniac wanted to make it work. Towns did terrifically to intervene. And was happy to set all the way back to his keeper. Gibson, Muir. A gentle start on the road for Avondale thus far. Their only other away installation this season. That defeat at the hands of Bentley Greens on match day 2. For a side usually difficult to break down. They'll be looking to remedy that. That's too long from Gibson when looking for Carpenter. For Dandenong Thunder, just 2 defeats in 16 home matches, stretching back to the start of last season. They have tried their very best to turn this place into a fortress, but Ott is looking to breach the castle gates, then took a stumble. Ismaili protested his innocence. Ott got back up and won a corner. Avondale's first look. From a set piece. Trzaskowski's take. A real congregation at the far post. Trzaskowski goes near. Marai made the run. Nodded away by Alessi. Nuema and then Mel's. Over one further. Carpenter in ahead of Jiba. Trzaskowski kept it rolling and then was forced all the way back for Towns, who was deepest. A patient, measured start. You can feel a real caginess around this place, around this fixture this evening. As Gibson, Courtney Perkins slid, but to ill effect. Ott's touch was a good one. Muir tried to fire it for Marai on the break. Jiba helped it on its way. Trzaskowski, Fornaroli, and Trzaskowski was adjudged to have his hand in the way. Alessi. Lee. Thunder still taking their time. That patient progression. Become ingrained, entrenched. Alessi. Again, forced long for Jallo. Him and Flotman resume battle. Flotman wins. Towns flicked it. Trzaskowski did well to chest it and goes searching for Fornaroli. Withers came a long way. Had to get a foot on it. Mel's in ahead of Marai. Lee then took over. Hustled by Valentini. Avondale pressed to good effect. Towns. Slowed up by Jeeba. Forced back for Carpenter. Valentini. Towns. Carpenter. Those three work in trio. Valentini turning. Jallo picked his pocket. And then couldn't turn it on for Maniac. Trzaskowski. Flotman. Towns. Wanted to thread for Carpenter. Jeeba's slide. Avondale taking the yards. This game is still searching for its first real piece of incision. Flotman. Again charged on by Courtney Perkins, as was Towns. Carpenter. Flotman forced all the way back for Gibson. And that fiery opening quarter of an hour has fizzled out. This has settled into a rhythm. Wellsmore, Ott, those two link up well. Good slide from Uema, and now he can go. Muir dangled a leg, and Thunder have a free kick. Muir impeded him to much more hefty Dandenong Thunder protest than has been audible so far this evening. Another look from a set piece. Mehmeti's free kick. Width with depth. And he went round the back. Nodded on. Courtney Perkins was lurking. Fornaroli touched it. Lee couldn't bring it down. Valenti hammered it. Shouts for handball waved away. Ismaili to start the next wave. Mehmeti. Clip for Courtney Perkins. Muir certainly had a handful of him. Flotman. In fact, Wellsmore came away with it. Valentini. Jeeba slid in to slow him. And in fact, Valentini got the final flick. And now Thunder are in a hurry. Maniac away from Towns. And then had one, which Flotman was happy to advance and gather. And roll for Marai. And now Fornaroli. Avondale momentarily thought they had an opening. Uema dropped into good effect. Wellsmore. Muir. Carpenter. Flotman. Muir. Wellsmore. Threaded for Marai. Deflected off Mells, and Trzaskowski can now charge. Him given some freedom. Mells wanted to rein him in, and Trzaskowski's cross was hooked over. And one which maybe he would want back. That's the most potent Avondale have threatened to produce so far. Mehmeti had to be measured for Uema, and Muir came across. Courtney Perkins, it's away from Trzaskowski. Again, only to Flotman. Jeeba intervened on Gibson's searching ball. And now is on a charge of his own. Two in retreat to slow him up. Brilliant challenge from Valentini. Then set it for Towns, whose touch was firm enough to find Ott, who was swarmed upon. Mells. Maniac. Threaded for Jallo, although Flotman was most unbothered by that run. Carpenter. Lee won it back. Thunder with an opportunity. Courtney Perkins' touch. Invited an ever calm and composed nod back from Tchaichevsky. Neither side able to break the other down. An evening of angst. Both teams understand this evening already could be a crossroad in this early season. Both wanting greener pastures by the end of it. Lovely ball to find Carpenter. His touch allowed Jeebert just to steal in, but he wasn't allowed to venture much further. Flicked away by Ismaili, all the way from Muir. Flotman. Muir once more. Avondale still wanting to break this Dandenong Thunder side down, trying to work their way beyond. Flotman hooked it into the channel and gave one to go at. Ismaili one up. And Valentini will throw. Flicked on by Lee, only to the benefit of Fornaroli. Alessi. Jallo again isolated and again losing out. Muir, Wellsmore. Marai. A tidy run from Towns, who was found well. Again, though, they are forced back. Muir. Wellsmore. And Flotman, who got it from Muir. Other way for Carpenter. Towns. Wellsmore was his only option on the switch. Has Nuema to go around, who nearly picked his pocket. Marai, Wellsmore. Thunder pressed to good effect. It only found Muir, who was a willing recipient. Stabbed it for Fornaroli, who was coming back from an offside position. Alessi. Ismaili. Alessi back for Withers. Ismaili once more. Given away for Valentini, who then stumbled and allowed Jeebert to go and win it. Now Courtney Perkins, who was on his own momentarily. Marai came to press. He evaded that well and found Mehmeti. Nuema. Mehmeti, it's a lovely ball, and Nuema has got room to roam. Jallo is charging with him. His touch was loose, and it allowed Wellsmore in to come across, challenge and clear. Mehmeti. Nuema. Tidy footwork to get around two. Set back from Mehmeti, who went searching. Flotman up ahead of Jallo. Tchaichevsky. Boxed in by Mells. Marai. Nuema pressed him. No way out. Mehmeti. This time drilled more. Nearly a moment for Maniac to fire. But Avondale are able to crash it clear. Maniac in the channel. Carpenter came across. Both touchlines maybe disgruntled, maybe just wanting more. As we approach half an hour almost. Withers. Ismaili happy to re-find his keeper. Withers, Alessi, who just has a couple of yards if he so chooses. Withers split for Mells, who had to return. Withers had to go a long way. Fornaroli momentarily thought he was a look. Ismaili had his ball ricochet off Towns. Withers fought to drill it for Mehmeti. He did well, and Mehmeti's flick was not as deft as he would have liked. Once more, again, Courtney Perkins, quick to him. Fornaroli lost out. Mells, Nwema went for Jallow, unable to get there ahead of Muir, who came crashing through. Ott got up, as did Alessi, who won it. Courtney Perkins, that's a tidy touch to find Lee. Ismaili forced back for Withers, who again had his clearance hold up, and it favoured Ott. And now Valentini. Trajczewski allowed to turn, allowed to fire via a deflection, which took all the sting out of it. Mehmeti hammered Wellsmore. His chest down, allowed Jallow, and now Nwema, who can go. Unable still to evade Wellsmore, who held him up well. Nwema away from Marai. Back for Mells. Lee. His touch a fraction heavy. It allowed Towns to get a foot in, and then he fired it straight into Fornaroli, who was happy to have the attack break down. Mells. That's a spearing switch for Jiba, and Carpenter read it. His header found Lee. Mells once more. His ball invites Alessi, Mehmeti. Nwema wanted an inventive clip for Courtney Perkins, whose challenge was good on Trajczewski, then stood it up for Jallow. Flotman again nodded away. Wellsmore. Jiba wanted a foot in. Valentini was the one who won it, and now he can go. With an acre to run into, Lee in retreat. Valenti's route inside denied the first time. And the second was unable to get beyond Maniac, and then he took a fall. Jiba. Here is Maniac. Mells. Oh, lovely 1-2. And now maybe Thunder can break. Maniac. Jallow had wandered. Muir won it. Towns. Forced back for Wellsmore. Muir, Flotman. Avondale's counter prevented by the fact they lost their shape momentarily. Tidy flick from Trajczewski. Got it back from Carpenter. Wanted Fornaroli, who was again not offside. And despite victory last week, Avondale themselves will be wanting to avoid back-to-back away defeats for the first time since the middle of last year. That run started at Heidelberg. The second of such was at Green Gully. They went and rectified that with a win on their next travel, but they won't want to have to do so and face such travelling scrutiny. Carpenter drilled it for Ott, who was afforded space. Now Marai. Towns. Carpenter had advanced. Trajczewski. Avondale just building. Trajczewski went searching. Ott got a flick without much sting to trouble Withers. Mells. Allowed to turn, allowed to thread. It's a good take from Maniac, who clipped it for Jallow. Flotman this time in retreat. Jallow wanting to go beyond him and unable to. Flotman just stood firm, and Hassan Jallow completely unable to go beyond. And looked rather flat in isolation on that occasion. Ismaili again forced back. It has been a half of that. Alessi. Courtney Perkins. Again, Avondale press high. Again, Fornaroli was lurking. And this time, Marai has a vacant net if he wants it. Rolled it on for Ott. His return in the channel for a marauding Marai. Ott, Marai, Wellsmore. Oh, that smashingly worked. Wellsmore's ball left a lot to be desired. And Courtney Perkins shielded. And now Thunder can go the other way. Nuema can charge. Wellsmore's in retreat. He's waiting on options. One of whom is Mel's, who gave a smashing clip into the channel. Nuema, Wellsmore's challenge was firm, but a good one. And Muir happy to calm things down for Towns, who will find touch as Nuema has remained down. Quick check on his well-being from Hassan Jallo. Nuema, unassisted, back on his feet. Moving a fraction gingerly. And an opportunity just while he was being tended to for a quick break and for a tactical reset. Both managers not most displeased, but most unmoved by what they've seen so far. Both wanting to break down the other. Flotman, lovely ball, and Carpenter can charge. Avondale wanting to take advantage. He's got a yard on Jiba, whose challenge was good. In retreat, and whose composure was cool. Maniac was surrounded by two. The challenge was firm. Thunder have a free kick, and the evening's first yellow card. And Dandenong Thunder displeasure spilling over a little bit. Treatment needed once again. And just for some confirmation, it was Stefan Valentini, the first one issued with a caution this evening. His challenge, robust. And Lat Maniac wore the full force of it. Just while he is tended to. A fiery first half which had its first boiling point as Valentini was given that yellow. Maniac all right. And Withers wanting Jallo. An awkward one for Carpenter to deal with, and he had to clear. Dandenong Thunder in a bit of a hurry with some urgency. Ismaili. Withers, who went on a diagonal for Nuema, and the flag is up on the far side. Gibson wanted Flotman. And either side find a way to break this half open. Just before the break. Searching ball from Marai. There were shouts for offside. It would not have mattered. Jallow and Carpenter come together. Carpenter flicks it for Fornaroli, who was able to move beyond Mells. Ott had 2 to go with. Trycheski gave Ott 1 to chase. Ismaili hooked it away. Carpenter came crashing. Good challenge from Chiba. Mells. Maniac. Towns got in ahead of Mells. War 1 and Avondale have a free kick. Perhaps an opportunity to trouble Withers. It's a tidy ball for Ott. Smashed away by Courtney Perkins. Jallow this time gave Wellsmore a worry, as did Courtney Perkins, who was in retreat. Mehmeti and Muir both dived in. Wellsmore now still hustled by Jallow, and then happy to go all the way back for Gibson. He and Towns exchange. This time searching for Marai, who got a yard on Jiba, but had it bounce over him. Carpenter. Again, clip for Ott, who clambered on Ismaili. Mel's dropped it for Jiba. Again, tried to make it out for Maniac. Flotman was calm. And Mel's had to clear. A tidy read from Ismaili, who again went hunting for Jallow. Flotman with a loose first flick, but the flag was raised. The second Jallow went to press. Much to Adam Piddock's frustration as to how this half has transpired. Muir. Flotman. Carpenter allowed to charge away from Mells. What dropped in to lend a helping hand and then gave it away to Maniac. Mells. Lee. Jiba. Lee with room to turn. Jiba had to lunge and then evaded Towns. Steered it down the line for Ismaili. They tried to make it work. The return for Jiba with too much force, although he hadn't given up on it. Trycheski, under immense pressure, kept his call to clear. Fornaroli couldn't flick. Alessi for Courtney Perkins to have a hit. And Gibson gave a palm, more as precaution than necessity. That, however, the closest either have come. And the first real distance drive in disdain. It opened up for Courtney Perkins, who gave it a good hit, wasn't a million miles away. But he lacked the necessary guile to give Gibson a headache. Gibson wanted Ott, whose flick found Valentini and was cleared away by Mehmeti. to Avondale. Fancy a late surge to get themselves in a positive position before the break. Cleared only as far as Towns. Wellsmore on for Valentini, whose flick will trickle out for a goal kick. Neither side able to find a first half rhythm. The half which itself has been stop-start. Does it have a finishing flourish? And if so, who wants to stamp their name on this game right before the break? In recent meetings, it's often been close when these two tussle. Tonight following in the same vein. That's 8-0 Avondale win quite some time ago now, the only outlier. Last season gave us two cracking contests. This offering an arm wrestle. Again, Ott and Mehmeti. Fornaroli wanted to get a foot in. It'll fall for Ismaili, who gave Jallo one to chase. Gibson always best placed. Gibson taking time to set, then send for Ott. Alessi got a flick, and we are now into a singular additional minute of stoppage time. At the end of a chance-fraught first half. 60 seconds to send one side into the dressing room happier than the other. Withers wanted Nwema. Courtney Perkins lent a helping hand. Muir came crashing and clearing. Is there one last look? Nwema, Valentini. Jallo was a nuisance. Fell for Trycheski, whose pirouette is the first half's finishing piece. Frustration for both. A game which is an arm wrestle, a real rhythmic mystery. Neither side able to find their groove on a tense night at a tense JVS Stadium. Half-time in Dandenong as the sun begins to set. It is Dandenong Thunder 0, Avondale 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JVS Stadium, the home of Dandenong Thunder Football Club. Dandenong Thunder would like to thank its 2026 major sponsors, JVS Group and Biovate Human Optimization. Dandenong Thunder would also like to thank its following valued partners for season 2026. Barley Flowers, Salimi Group, Royal Stacks, Solomon Group, Valencia, Barbecue K, Cameron Real Estate, CNC Pro, Elysium Estate Agents, Maliku Group, The Manor and High, Anton Jewelers, and APAC. Hope you enjoy the game. Go Dandenong Thunder. important that all spectators at a Football Victoria approved fixture can enjoy the match in safe and comfortable environment accordingly. Each person present at an FFV fixture must A. Respect the decisions and instructions of the match officials and ground marshals. B. Respect the rights, dignity and worth of every person regardless of their age, gender, identity and expression, sexual orientation, ability, race, colour, religion, language, politics, national or ethnic origin. C. Not shame, humiliate, oppress, belittle, harass or degrade any player, match official or spectator. D. Not engage in the use of physical or verbal abuse, whether it is by other spectators, team officials, including coaches or players. E. Not engage in any form of verbal, physical or online bullying. F. Not engage in discrimination, harassment or abuse in any form, whether lawful or otherwise, including but not limited to the use of obscene or offensive language or gestures in the incitement of hatred or violence or partaking in indecent or racist chanting. G. Respect the facilities and equipment of all clubs and venues. H. Report any instances of discrimination or threatening behaviour to match official, ground marshal or by contacting discipline at footballvictoria.com.au. J. Comply with FFV's conditions of entry at all venues and at any ticket conditions. K. Not enter the field of play or its surrounds without lawful authority. L. Conduct themselves in a manner that enhances or rather that injures the reputation and goodwill of FV, Football Australia and the football generally. M. Not display within the venue any offensive or inappropriate banners, whether in English or foreign languages or any other sign, item or insignia which may offend a person. N. Ensure all social media posts raised from all affiliated with FFV are respectful, accurate, lawful and uphold the reputation of FV in its members. This includes but is not limited to all players and opposition clubs. O. Adopt or maintain a responsible attitude surrounding the consumption of alcohol and other controlled substances within respect to the venue policies. Any person who does not comply with this code of conduct or who is in the opinion of the club and FV causes attempts to cause or is presently likely to cause disturbance may be evicted from the venue and banned from attending future matches held on behalf of FV. Any other offender who then breaches the banning order against them may be charged with trespassing and subject to additional penalties and sanctions, including the possibility of further legal action. Hope you enjoy the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JVS Stadium, the home of Dandenong Thunder Football Club. Dandenong Thunder would like to thank its
We return from half-time. JVS Stadium at George Andrews Reserve, currently goalless. Dandenong Thunder waiting for that release, that euphoria that the tension of the first few weeks of the season had built up. Avondale had that 7 days ago, but they themselves now will want to square their seasonal ledger and get them right back towards where they want to be. It's not the only game on this stacked Saturday of football in the Senol National Premier League Men's Victoria. South Melbourne lead Bentley Greens by a goal to nil at half-time. And St Albans leads Altona in the earlier kick-off on late Saturday afternoon, early Saturday evening. But here and now in Dandenong, this means everything to both of these sides. Neither with the start to the season they would so want, and both now wanting to get right back on track, back towards where they believe they should be. The first half fraught with chances. Courtney Perkins came closest. A speculative effort from outside the area, which Gibson was happy not to get a touch on. Dandenong Thunder wanting to start the second half quickly. Chiba already given Marai to go at, and thread for Maniac. Marai got a good foot in for Neroli, on for Towns, who then gave it away to Courtney Perkins. Mel's Courtney Perkins couldn't quite clip it for Jallo. But if that opening sequence is something to go off of, there is a renewed vigour to the amount of adventure that will be shown in this second period. As again, Carpenter long. Fornaroli couldn't flick. Ismaili inadvertently did so. Went back for Withers, who asked a lot of Mel's. Trycheski, Towns. And now Wellsmore, who is charging and driving. And Wellsmore from range! Oh, it's a perler! Avondale adulation! A beauty! Wellsmore with a wondrous strike. And inside 2 second half minutes, Avondale have broken the deadlock with an absolute belter. Wonderful. Simply wonderful. The goal this game needed. The goal that they needed. A Wellsmore work of art. And Avondale have the lead in the southeast. Superb. He will not hit many sweeter than that. And from a KG first half, a firecracker to start the second. And now the hosts have it to do. How they go about structuring their response is all to be seen, or do Avondale want to go and add another? Alessi. For Withers. Chiba got up. Carpenter couldn't find Towns. Mel's, Maniac, and now Dandenong Thunder are in. Jallo going one way, Courtney Perkins the other. The flag has stayed down for Hassan Jallo, who squared it to the back post, where no one was willing to put a finishing touch on it. The flag stayed down, much to Avondale bewilderment. Courtney Perkins was making a careening run. Nuema was the other furthest, and neither could get a touch for what would have been an instant reply. And since going behind, Dandenong Thunder sprung to life. Mel's, Jallo held it up tidily and then gave one for Nuema that was short. Wellsmore wanted Valentini and was always asking a lot. Alessi. Withers. Mel's given time to turn and find Ismaili, who measured it for Maniac, who turned terrifically and who had Nuema on the switch. He's got Wellsmore to go at. Nuema set it for Mametti, who steered it with height, with spin. Maniac tried to bundle his way in, and Avondale win a free kick. Just too overzealous in trying to carve out an opportunity. With swirling height. Lee Trzaskowski got the second touch, favoured Jallo, whose flick found a white wall to meet it. Flotman. Carpenter. Hustled by Maniac, did superbly well. Ott. Marai. Fornaroli. Couldn't quite turn it for his strike partner. Ismaili was collected. Now then. Marai gets a yellow. Ismaili is writhed in pain, and the second half has its first flashpoint. Many discussions. Conversations with players, with touchlines, with officials. Marai with a yellow card for his lunge. Ismaili was worse for wear, but he's back on his feet. A bubbling start to the second half and a searing switch. Brilliant ball from Ismaili. Wellsmore stood up well, having afforded Nuema the yardage. Avondale still can't clear. Maniac was lurking. Flotman nodded at the expense of a corner. Unaware of the arriving lurking danger. Dandenong Thunder's first second half set piece. Again, fizz towards the near post, and Marai met it with clearing force. And then Maniac was given a shove, and Townsley's the charge the other way. Avondale momentarily 3-on-2. Continuing the run brilliantly. Fornaroli is lurking at the back post. The ball had too much for him. The move kept alive for Valentini. Fornaroli with whip. Ott with a flick. And an all-important foot in. And now Courtney Perkins has one which he can give chase to, but Muir was always winning that race. Gibson couldn't guide it to Marai, cut out by Jiba. And now Maniac can charge, and now the Thunder have another opportunity. Lovely footwork to evade Marai. Maniac from range. A telling block from Muir. And now perhaps another opportunity for Wellsmore. He is wandering forward. Valentini on the overlap, too tall for odds. And Fornaroli hadn't gambled. Mells spearing, and Courtney Perkins, while sprinting, is unable to reel it in. And now the official comes over and Adam Piddick finds himself in the book. The Dandenong Thunder manager, maybe too over-animated on that particular occasion. The start of that Avondale counter. Valentini and Mehmeti entangled. Nwema did well to evade and win a throw. Jallo set it back from Mehmeti, who wanted to thread for an on-rushing Maniac. Mells crashed away by Carpenter. Trajewski went searching, gave Fornaroli one to chase, and Ismaili was the quickest in retreat. Withers nearly left wandering with his footwork. Ismaili, without option, had to hammer it. Gibson forced to come out, and Gibson forced to come crashing. Jeeva's quick take down the line. And that ball hurtled towards the gantry. Mells wanted Maniac, and Carpenter happy to see it out. A lively, a fizzling, a furnace-like start to this second half. Where the first was measured, tempered, this is emotion-based. It is flying through in all of its feeling. Marai, and Maniac was down. Now Marai has already been booked. And that is the point being made by Adam Piddick. And Maniac back up on his feet. A little bit of discomfort. Ismaili searching for Jallo. Courtney Perkins was the late run-up. Flotman flicked it to Trajewski, whose touch was loose. Lee. And Wellsmore came and collected through on his clearance. Alessi. Withers. He wanted to drill one for Jiba, and Marai did well. Jiba wanting haste. Courtney Perkins offering, Carpenter reading it. Maniac. Lee. Lovely ball to find Jiba, who was driving. Carpenter's challenge, a good one. Managed to stop a driving Ben Jiba. Mehmeti got under it. Lee flung a leg at it wildly, and Fornaroli let it bounce its way out of play. Carpenter's throw, Ott's flick. Avondale won't mind this. The longer this second half slows to a simmer, the seconds tick by, they inch closer to an all-important first away win of the season. Fornaroli warded off Lee, not once, not twice, but thrice. Fornaroli battling, challenges flying around him, and then he left a leg in. A frustrated fling from Fornaroli, and he finds himself with a yellow card now too. Avondale just feeling some agitation. And this one with renewed vigour, with renewed fervour as well, and renewed feeling. Loose ball from Ismaili, and Mehmeti can't keep it in. An hour ticked over in Dandenong. Avondale have it thanks to a wondrous Wells Moore hit. That is the difference. Carpenter. Crashed it for Trychevsky. Wells Moore. Muir. Flotman. Now Carpenter. Maniek came to press him. Marai. Carpenter wanted to steer one into the channel. Read well by Ismaili. Mells. His turn to clip one. Jallo nearly got there, and in fact he did. Courtney Perkins, the only one further forward with him. Hassan Jallo made his way beyond Muir. Flotman stuck a foot in. Thunder appeal for a drag and a penalty. A shout which is waved away. Carpenter with a searing switch. Valentini. Wellsmore. And Avondale call it right down. Towns. Trychevsky. Muir. Flotman. Muir once more. Gap open for Towns, and they find their way through. Trychevsky, who stood it up for Fornaroli, who steered over. A very, very good look for Bruno Fornaroli, who worked a yard at the back post. And now there will be two substitutions. Dandenong Thunder going to the bench. Lats Maniek's evening is over. He's replaced by Ali Suleimani. And Sabina Albani, who was brought back onto the bench having started last week, is now subbed on for Joseph Nwema. Wing replacements, wing readjustments. Be hoping to add some spark. Suleimani was attempted to be picked out immediately. Flotman, Fornaroli. On for Otts, who clipped for Trychevsky. Winners came! Penalty! In fact, no. No penalty given. A gesture but no whistle. A point to the ball, and Suleimani could go charging. A loose slip from Carpenter. A quick gesture, but there was no whistle. An indication of wave away. And Avondale are incensed. Still, that discussion is being had on the touchline. Carpenter's throw, up and under. Jiba couldn't steer it for Jallo. Towns turned into trouble, and Lee went and won it. He then wanted to search onto that far side, nodded away by Wellsmore. Valentini took a tumble. And now Abani is driving. Trycheski in retreats. Sees it out for a goal kick. And Avondale's first alterations of the evening. Muir's night comes to an end. Murphy Bennett will be the one to see out the final 25 minutes plus stoppages. As is the night done for Stefan Valentini. He's replaced by Max Green. Who came on to good effect against Green Gully last week. Ott was unchallenged, though I doubt he knew it. Marai. Hajiba just to get a foot in. Every second precious. It is nearing that time where Dandenong Thunder will need to throw everything at it. Carpenter, Fornaroli left it. Ott with a lovely flick. It was cut out well by Lee. Cleared only as far as Wellsmore, who tried to thread for Fornaroli. Unless he clipped it, Jallo couldn't help it on its way to Abani. Trycheski, Towns, Carpenter. Another change being prepped on the Dandenong Thunder touchline. Harry Phillips awaiting his introduction. That's a gorgeous take from Green. And a good challenge to match from Lee. Suleimani on for Chiba. Steered for Courtney Perkins, whose touch was heavy for Suleimani. A shout for handball. Carpenter and Fornaroli collided, and then Courtney Perkins fouled Carpenter. And now Dandenong Thunder will make that change, and Ben Chiba's night is done. A flurry of fresh legs from the Thunder bench to see if they can get themselves right back into this game. Carpenter again wanted Ott. It was an awkward one for Alessi. Marai took it tidily. Towns. Carpenter. Lovely thread for Marai, who steered it channel-wise. Trycheski was offside. And then, for kicking it away, after seeing the flag on the far side, finds himself with a yellow card. Mells found a ricochet for Lee, who helped it on its way to Mehmeti. Abani was darting and Mehmeti finds him. Early ball wanted Jallo, but only found its way out for a goal kick. Flotman on for Carpenter, who is happy to return. Courtney Perkins went to press. Carpenter. Towns. They work their way out well. It's a tidy touch from Ott. Marai returns it to him, and then Lee goes and wins it. Mells on for Phillips, whose ball was early. Jallo was on his own! And the flag's up. It will be chalked off. Jallo caused momentary jubilation And then a defiance, a longing Dandenong Thunder look to the flag raised, wishing it was not so. The best look they've created. Courtney Perkins didn't quite fall for Phillips. Mells going to work it beyond Wellsmore, whose clearance found Suleimani. Phillips. Towns picked his pocket. Trycheski went searching for Fornaroli. Ismaili got his head on it. Lee again speared it for Abani, and that one had too much pace. Still Avondale holding firm. A heart in Mal's moment momentarily before they were granted reprieve by the fourth time this evening that Hassan Jallo had strayed, but that the most poignant. Searching ball from Mehmeti. Abani. Again lost out. Scrappy. Courtney Perkins went and won it. Jallo dropped it. Abani set it back for Mells. Momentarily thought about it. Rolled it wide for Suleimani, who stood it up. Courtney Perkins was crashing. Jallo wasn't jumping. Mehmeti set for Mells again. And this time gathered by Gibson. Jack Gibson taking every single one of those seconds to get rid of it. It was nodded on by Ismaili, but only found Trycheski, who wanted to steer it for Otts. He got round Alessi, but his touch was too heavy and allowed Withers to go and gather it. Alessi, Ismaili. Withers. Dandenong Thunder, what can they throw at this game now to get level? They had it in the net, and then it was chalked off by the linesman's flag. Mells. Ismaili. Again, forced all the way back. Alessi. Lee, Mehmeti, met by two and slid into good effect, and now Dandenong Thunder could charge. Abani is on the overlap. Mehmeti was bundled, the ball was won. And now Trycheski. Wellsmore. They evade well. The ball was steered for Ott. Ott up by Alessi. Green slid in. Alessi got it back from Lee. Mells. Again, speed it for Abani. And again, it had too much height. This a critical home fixture, though they are chasing it. Dandenong Thunder go to Cume next week. They have South Melbourne here in a fortnight's time. Then it's Bentley Greens, Green Gully and Altona. All in the next 5, which starts tricky. Against sides who have started this season rather brightly. The urgency to pick up something tonight truly felt, otherwise the unnerve will continue to settle and continue to grow in its discomfort. Soleimani, Courtney Perkins flick. Gibson again with an easy pickup. For Avondale, they host the team from the other side of town, Dandenong City, next week, before they travel to Preston, then Oakley, St Albans and Melbourne City at home to round out 5. That next trio could prove tricky. Holding the slenderest of advantages, they will hope to hold on or take an opportunity to seal it, perhaps, if it presents itself. And they have a throw to withstand. Soleimani flings it. He wanted Jallo. Found its way to Courtney Perkins, who was given a pull. Penalty shout waved away. And Carpenter is there to clear. Withers wants to begin the next wave. Alessi. Abani. Now Mells, who had dropped deep. Ismaili steered it for Soleimani, who couldn't get beyond Carpenter. Dandenong Thunder in a hurry. Mells. Again on the switch for Abani. This one finds him. Has Wells more to go at. Set it back from Mehmeti, who set it for Jallo, whose header is over. Searching from Mehmeti. And Jallo just couldn't get the launch to nod it under the bar and perhaps beyond Gibson. Dandenong Thunder now starting to knock on the door. Avondale feeling a twinge of anxiety. The lead slender and losing its security by the second. Soleimani, Phillips. Carpenter got a flick. Jallo, happy to see it out and go quickly for Mells, who turned into Fornaroli. Marai, Fornaroli, who's wanting to be a facilitator and does fantastically. Marai for Otts. And Alessi collected him. And for it, we'll get a yellow card. Back on his feet. Careful to avoid exiting the pitch. Otherwise, Avondale were momentarily down to 10. Carpenter wanted to steer it for Ott. Ismaili got up. Trycheski flicked it. Wellsmore with height. Nodded away, back to Trycheski. Ott. Couldn't spin Alessi. Ismaili wanted Jallo. Wellsmore. Ute Towns. Green happy to reset. Wellsmore again. Work to Yarden and Barney. Trycheski's touch was tidy. And now Avondale have an opening. Green couldn't steer it in the channel. With more precision for Ott. Dandenong Thunder prepping 2 final changes. Morton and Romanovsky, the 2. Ismaili. He forced back. Ismaili this time with more purpose. Out the other way from Mehmeti, who has got a couple of yards to go into. Jallo on for Abani. Wriggled away from Wellsmore. Set it back for Jallo. Mehmeti. His drive, thumped away by Towns. Lee's flick. Green's touch around him, not around Alessi, who couldn't steer it for Soleimani. And now Marai can go. Fornaroli is beyond him. Ott is also streaming. Now Carpenter. Fornaroli, Marai. And Alessi intervened crucially. That foothold might keep Thunder in the game. Tidy ball from Soleimani. Steered it for Mells, who speared it for Abani. Wells more to go at again. It's a brilliant challenge. And now those changes can be made. Jackson Courtney Perkins, the first to make way. George Mells, the last Dandenong Thunder substitute to be made. Morton and Romanovsky, the last roll of the dice with 10 to go. Thunder still searching. Avondale still resisting. Open for Phillips, who had room to shoot and didn't take the obliging space. And Avondale could counter. Set long for Fornaroli, but without much direction. Alessi. Morton. Ismaili. Soleimani. Tidy return. Those two wanting to work in tandem. The returning flick had too much force. Carpenter wanting Ott, Morton, Flotman, happy to fire it anywhere. Soleimani in a hurry. Ismaili. Alessi. Mehmeti. On for Abani. Romanovsky. Gave Abani one to chase with the return, and Wellsmore will see it out for a goal kick. And there is another stoppage to settle a touchline matter and another yellow card. Dandenong Thunder not best pleased. There's Gibson with height. Phillips up ahead of Ott. Again, Carpenter goes for yards, and again, Fornaroli is his target. Soleimani, that's a clear. If Avondale were to find a second now, it would surely snatch it. Smash and grab, though, it may be. Towns, Carpenter, not over Phillips. Romanovsky got a foot. Carpenter for Ott. His flick wanting Fornaroli, only finding Withers. Is there one last launch? Bonnie, who got a yard on Wellsmore but wasn't able to get beyond him. Again down the line, again wanting Green. This time Alessi, the one to hammer it for Jallo, who flicked ahead of Bennett. And Romanovsky just ensuring Gibson had to gather. Avondale slowing this right down to a crawl. Green, Ott. Wellsmore, who at the moment is proving match winner. Ott, Ornitricheski. Green then took over and went surging. And Suleimani came across and had to clear his lines. Avondale prepping a change. Leon Alizart. The one down on the touchline. Awaiting introduction. And a yellow card brandished. For Wellsmore. Well, just taking a little bit too much time to get things back underway once more. Ismaili. Morton. Alessi. On for Seftim Ismaili, who had Marai to go around and lost out. Towns had two surging. Marai was one. Carpenter going beyond him. Avondale taking their opportunity when and where they can. Towns. Bennett. Wellsmore, who whipped into a channel on which Alessi is the only one present in. Wanted Romanovsky. Wellsmore nodded on, as did Mehmeti. Phillips. Lee. Mehmeti. That's a beauty of a ball. A smashing switch for Suleimani, who stretched and plucked it. And then went searching at the near post. But his cross in the end rather wasteful. And now that Avondale change can come. Bruno Fornaroli's night is curtailed before the 90. And Leon Alizart, the one who will see it out. Fornaroli makes way. Avondale now wanting to shut this game down. 3 points, a massive momentum boost. Dandenong Thunder still have time to change it. And Alizart handled. Suleimani in a hurry. 2 of the 90 before stoppage time to go. Is there a late change to the script? On a steamy Saturday evening in Dandenong, Suleimani sat down Alizart not once but twice. Stood it for Jallo. Steered away. Not once but twice. Carpenter could only clear as far as Suleimani. Ismaili's touch was loose and then he dangled a leg. And it's an Avondale pressure release. The 90's final minute. You suspect there will be a few more to come. A stop-start, a temper-flared, frustration-bared second half. Alton Alessi. It fell for Ismaili, who went up for Jallo. Otter stayed down. Mehmeti had it break his way. And his shot was tamed for Gibson. Ott has remains down. And somehow, it all continues. He's now back on his feet. Ismaili, Alessi, Suleimani. How much time in addition have we got? Trzaskowski, 5 minutes added on, right at the end of this one. Dandenong Thunder with 5 to save themselves, Avondale with 5 to see through. The 90 is expired. Ismaili, Alessi. It would be 1 point from 4 games, 6 points off from where they were at this point last season. Lovely ball from Ismaili. Suleimani. Set it back for Ismaili. Thunder waiting for it. Ismaili got the angle. Gibson dived and punched. Only as far as Abani. It fell for Morton. Free kick. And this one, a really good look. Morton felled in stoppage time's first minute. And Dandenong Thunder, who have knocked on the door, who had one disallowed with the flag raised, have an opportunity to equalise and rip it away from Avondale right at the very last. The wall does its job. Morton's free kick, unable to clear over, but they do have a corner. Morton's take. With depth, wanting Ismaili. They'll get it clear. And out to Carpenter, who wanted to crash it for Trzaskowski. Abani, Withers. Back for Abani, who evaded well and found Alessi. He wants Jallo or Mehmeti. Flotman wins it. Morton came crashing. And Avondale have a free kick, which takes all the sting out of it. One last alteration for Avondale being prepped. Adam Zimmerino, the other of the 2 changes to tonight's lineup. Is awaiting introduction. Flotman went searching. Green with a very good take. Abani and Mehmeti win it back. Is there one more? And now that substitution will be made. Marai's evening ends San Marino tasked with the final few minutes. Is this possibly one last look for Dandenong Thunder? Avondale have shut it right down. It would be back-to-back wins to take back to Avenger Park. This a precious 3 points that they are merely minutes away from. Alessi wanting one last launch. Mehmeti with whip away from Jallo. Wellsmore in ahead of Abani. Time ticking. This may be the last go. Romanovsky hooked it, went down, nothing was given. And then the clearance failed. Morton had a hit! And it was cleared at the last. Gibson with a vital touch. Long throw sent in. Out for Morton. Avondale charging, Trycheski on his own. San Marino, the other one forwards. He was some way offside, and the flag includes that. This may well be it. One last roll of the dice. Flicked on for Romanovsky. Crashing through was Bennett. Cleared only as far as Alessi. Avondale have done enough. They have held on. Back-to-back wins. One with style, one with grit and backbone. After a frustrating opening fortnight, a jubilant 2 weeks to follow. They are back on track, right where they want to be. But for Dandenong Thunder, 6 adrift now of this stage last season. A singular point in their opening 4. And yet another unrelenting, unfruitful evening. Avondale get a massive win on the road. One which could be the cornerstone of their campaign in 2026. Full time, JVS Stadium at a grumbling and disgruntled George Andrews Reserve. Dandenong Thunder 0, Avondale 1.